You talk a lot about how unique humans are, and just how rare, like how unique is it that a person exists? How unique is an individual?
Well, it's something I'm going into in my new book, and I'm trying to tell you how you must realize how strange it is for you to be alive at this moment. I don't know if that's quite what your question is.
No, I think it is kind of. How rare is it? Sometimes I want to be able to remember how rare I am. And not just me. I mean that as a voice of a human. I want to remind myself more often that I am one of one, and not me, but every person.
Yeah. Well, the way I try to describe it in my new book, I'm not going to go into the full thing because it'll take hours. But first of all, the idea that our planet has life on it is incredibly strange and weird. It was like an accident, totally fortuitous. We know billions of other planets that have no life, right? So something snapped 3 billion years ago, 4 billion years ago that we don't understand.
Wow.
All right, from that point on, life evolved in this weird fashion. And there was this moment about 600 million years ago called the word escapes me. It's a period in history.
Mesozoic?
No. It's before that. It'll come to me later. It's
600 million years ago?
600 million years ago. Suddenly life became complex. It'll come to me at some point. Maybe it's the Cretaceous period.
Spring or something?
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous.
Wow. So suddenly complex life evolved.
Cambrian explosion.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, not to cut you off. But 600 million years ago, the Earth experienced an evolutionary event which has never been repeated. The Cambrian explosion saw a huge increase in new life forms, many of which laid the foundations for the body plans of all subsequent animal life. Wow, I've never even heard of that.
So there's this guy, Stephen Jay Gould, who wrote a book about the Cambrian explosion and how there were these forms of life, and he has pictures in his book of these really grotesque-looking creatures that lived in the ocean, because all life was in water then. And if only one plan survived, which is the plan that all bodies basically have, right, with a head, et cetera, et cetera. But if that hadn't happened, and it almost didn't, the strangest, most weird-looking forms of life would be walking around this planet. You have to see these pictures to believe it, right? Wow. Anyway, that happened. Okay, then I can go on and on and on. Then there were the dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs disappeared because of, we now know, because of a meteor. What do you call it?
Heat or something?
No. A meteor hit the planet Earth.
Big Bang.
Yeah.
Or
it was
a meteor wiped everything out.
Yeah.
It shook the whole thing, huh?
About 60 million years ago, right? It ended up to the extinction of dinosaurs.
Damn.
But that meteor could have easily missed planet Earth. If it had shifted just a slight degree, it could have hit somewhere else, but it landed in exactly the spot in the Yucatan Peninsula that caused the greatest amount of damage. If that hadn't happened, dinosaurs would still be roaming the planet.
And then we wouldn't.
Humans, about 80,000 years ago, nearly went extinct. There were only about 8,000 of us. We'd been decimated by various illnesses, etc. We very nearly went extinct as a species, okay? So humans surviving all of that, surviving that life evolves, surviving that life evolved in the way that it did, that dinosaurs disappeared, that mammals came on, is extremely unlikely. And then add on to this, Theo, the fact that your parents met, and there was a chance that the chance that they met was probably a bit unlikely. It could have easily been somebody else who was your father, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you would still be you, but you wouldn't be you exactly. It'd be different. Multiply that by 70,000 generations going back to the earliest humans.
Wow.
If they hadn't met in a certain way, if they hadn't met each other, you wouldn't be you at all, right? So the fact that you are here, the odds against it are so astronomical that I say in the book, you must have to sit down on your knees, and it's almost like a religion. You must think, it is so strange, it is so miraculous, that I'm so grateful that I am who I am. It is incredible. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.